So part 3 then. If you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, then I'll put links to those in the description, so go and check those out. But just to recap, my Vauxhall Corsa, so it was a full electric Vauxhall Corsa, had an error on the dash that said electric traction system fault, repair needed. And at the end of the last video I said I was going to take it to Vauxhall dealership to get them to have a look at it. So this morning I dropped it off with them and they've given me this courtesy car. Unfortunately it is a petrol courtesy car. It is another Vauxhall Corsa, it's slightly newer, but it is petrol. It sounds like a diesel, and it's also manual, so I've got a manual gear stick in here. I've not driven a manual in like 3 years, so that was an interesting experience. But anyway, I'll give you an update as soon as I've got more information back from Vauxhall. Okay, so I'm back in my own car again now. I gave Vauxhall a ring at about 4 o'clock. Well, I chased them at lunchtime as well, but they hadn't looked at it then. But by 4 o'clock they got some information for me. They're going to replace the air conditioning compressor and a wiring loom. Apparently that's what's causing the issue. They are going to do this free of charge, even though the car is out of warranty, so clearly this must be a known issue with this model. Well, I know it's a known issue with this model because I've been reading on the forums about it. So for now I'm going to drive it home, use it as little as possible in case the problem gets worse, and take it back next week. So they won't know when they can fit the part until Monday, so it's Thursday right now, so Monday they'll know when they can fit the part, so I have to book it back in to be fixed once they've got an idea of when the part's going to come in. So I guess for now nothing I can do other than drive this home and update you once the car goes back in. Okay, this is a very quick update because I've just spoken to Vauxhall. Now, they were supposed to phone me yesterday to let me know when the parts were coming in, but I've had to chase them today, and it has taken several attempts to get through to them. A couple of the phone calls I made to them, I just heard them lift the phone up and then put it straight back down again, which is a bit out of order, but anyway, they answered the phone eventually, and the parts are in and ready to go. So they've booked me in, I'm looking at my calendar over there, for next Friday, so a week on Friday. They're going to do it. They said they can do it all within a day, so yes, I'll update you once the car comes back from the Vauxhall garage. Another day, another visit to a garage. So I've brought the Corsa back into Vauxhall and they're going to look at it today, so hopefully this will get sorted today and it'll be the end of this saga. So today's courtesy car is a lot nicer than the last one. It's another Vauxhall Corsa, obviously, but this time it's an electric one. So they've actually got an electric courtesy car. It's almost exactly the same as mine. There's a few differences, maybe 2 years newer, and it's a much higher spec. So it's got all this really nice dark material, so it's like dark grey material and dark grey trim on the corners, and then there's this nice red shiny line across the dashboard. And obviously the seats are a bit more like bucket seats. They're kind of like a mixture of material and fake leather, I think, and they've got this red patch on them and a red stripe stand. So I think it looks pretty smart in this car, and because it's electric it is absolutely superb to drive. I really do like the Vauxhall Corsa and how it drives. I mean, it's just such a nice experience for the electric one. The petrol one was a horrible experience, but the electric one, absolutely brilliant. Well, I don't know what's happening then. I dropped the car off at about, what, 8:15 this morning, and it's now 4:45, so I called them up to find out what was going on, and doesn't look like they've managed to fix it yet, so they've asked to keep it over the weekend. So looks like I've got this courtesy car for a few more days. I guess we'll see on Monday when I speak to Vauxhall again what the issues are, and see what progress they've made. Hopefully they do get it sorted and I can get the car back next week. I'm not in any rush. The courtesy car is quite nice, actually. No idea. Not heard a thing today. So today's update, the parts are in apparently, although I thought the parts were in last week, but whatever. They're going to fit them tomorrow, hopefully, if there's enough time. Apparently there was a lot of parts all came in at the same time, so they're prioritising the jobs, I guess, in order of when the customers came in. So my job is scheduled for tomorrow, I think, so I guess we'll find out then, maybe. Someone just flipping pulled out in front of me. So I'm on my way to collect the car then. It's getting quite late in the day and I had to phone them up to find out what the status was, but conveniently when I called them up they'd just finished working on it. So now I've got to battle through rush hour traffic to get to the garage, so hopefully I make it on time. So this is brilliant, right? I couldn't make this up. I've come to collect my car. It's all sorted and ready, I'm told, but it's stuck behind a van in the garage and the van can't be moved at the moment because they're still working on it. So I've got to take this courtesy car back home and come and collect my car tomorrow when I'm told that it can be moved. So I'm finally back in my own car and the error message has disappeared from the dashboard. But I don't want to celebrate too soon because obviously we've been here before, so let's give it a few days to be certain, because last time I think it came back within about 5 days, so fingers crossed it's solved for good. Bye. Well, that's the Corsa-e gone then. I've sold it. It gave us 44,000 relatively trouble-free miles. I know that Vauxhall managed to fix it, so it's all good now, but I have honestly lost faith in it. And I know it didn't fully break down, it's always been drivable, but I'd read of a couple of cases where the owners had been driving around for a few months with the same error on the dashboard, when it suddenly changed from repair needed to stop vehicle, and the car comes to a stop and locks itself in park mode, so you can't even push it. My wife used to drive the car to work a few times a week on the motorway. If that happened to her on the motorway, then it could be really dangerous. I just didn't think it was worth the risk of using the car during rush hour journeys like that. But that does mean that we had to use our diesel car instead. Now, I'd done my sums for owning the Corsa on the basis that we could afford the repayments on a loan for it because we weren't spending as much on diesel. But when the Corsa is off the road, then we're still paying the loan on it and we're also paying for extra diesel. I just can't sustain that extra spending long term. Vauxhall did fix the problem outside of the warranty for free, which was very good of them and fortunate for me. But if something else was to go wrong with it, then I'd be back in the same situation. So what I'm trying to suggest here is that if you have a Corsa-e or a Mokka-e or one of the Peugeots or Citroens that's basically the same car, then I suggest you make sure you get an extended warranty. That's the big lesson I'm taking from this. So what's next for me then? Well, I have another EV on order, but it's not due for a few weeks. I've got it on a lease through a salary sacrifice scheme, which means the cost shouldn't be much different to what I was paying for the loan on the Corsa. Because it's a lease though, all of the servicing, the tyres and MOT when it's due and things like that are all included. All I have to do is add insurance. I'm basically after an easy life for a few years. Anyway, if you want to find out which car I'm getting, then you'll have to wait until a future video. Cliffhanger. Right, these people here are my channel members and a big thank you to them as always. If you'd like to become a channel member too and get early access to my videos, then check out the link in the description or the join button that's underneath this video. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for free to see more from me and find out what that car is. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.